I listen to all types of music, all genres of music, except country. And I really wanted the new Maroon 5 Songs About Jane CD back in the day when I was in my late 20s, probably. I was too, I don't know what the word is, chicken shit? I don't know. I did not want to be checked out by a black person seeing me buy Maroon 5. I went into a line where there was a white girl. I was in my late 20s. Hi everybody, my name is Dawn, aka Bang Bang Books, aka the Criticizer of Books, and one half of the Novel Universe podcast. I do a podcast with my friend Ashley, and our podcast is about our podcast is about the most buzzworthy books of the day. We do mostly YA, but we do some adult fiction too. So if you want to check out our podcast, you can get it anywhere where you get your podcasts, or you can listen to it here on YouTube. We upload the podcasts here on YouTube as well. And I know what you're saying to yourself. Another booktuber? Do we need another one? Probably not. However, I'm gonna, because sometimes Ashley and I don't always read the same books. We read the same books for the podcast, obviously. But in our free reading time, we read different books and we want to talk about them with you. And so every once in a while, we will either be podcasting alone or booktubing alone, talking about a book that we read and we really want to tell you about, which I already said. Our next podcast with Dawn and Ashley will be The Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. So if you have read it, tune in sometime mid or beginning of June and we will talk about it. I hope I like it. I'm still reading it. I'm almost done. I hope it ends well. Today I'm going to be talking about Flamefall by Munda. Nope. Rosaria, Munda. This is a library book, so hopefully there's no glares. Oh, I forgot to mention, I am a teen librarian in the Chicagoland area. Hi. This is book 2 of Fireborn, and I will put the cover of that book right here because I don't have it. I don't own a lot of books. I only buy books that I give a 4 or a 5 to. And because my nickname is the Criticizer of Books, I don't give that many 4s or 5s, so I don't have a lot of books. So, library, yay! So if you have not read Fireborn, which came out a couple of years ago, I highly recommend it. I think I gave it a 4.5 when it first came out. Not a lot of people are reading this series. I think I know why. I think it's because, well, I don't think the publisher pushed it enough, and it's not a fast-paced fantasy, even though it's about dragons. I'll just tell you what it's about, just in case you want to read it, which I think you should. Dragonborn, that's not the name of the book. Fireborn is about Annie and Lee. So in this world, there are dragon riders, and they, of course, are the kings and queens. They are the ruling class. And one day they decided that we need more food and we're going to take it from the poor people. So you're going to give it to us poor people, and if you don't, we're going to burn your shit down. And that's what they did. They burned their shit down. But then they were like, tired of our stuff getting burnt down. So the revolution happened and they killed the elite class except for 2 people, Leo and his cousin. Leo was like 8, of course, because usually it's 10 years later. That's how these books go. He was raised in He was raised in an orphanage with Annie, who he grew up with. And I believe she knew who he was. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he grew up in this orphanage, and in this world, there is a caste system, and you have to take a test to decide which caste you're in. And Annie and Leo, is it Lee? Leo. It's Lee. It's not Leo. It's Lee. Lee test into the military class. I don't know what it's called, but they're in the military, or the people who ride dragons, the dragon army. And then it goes like gold, silver, bronze. Bronze being the crap. crap class. Of course, there's got to be a crap class. I mean, who are we going to crap over? Who are we going to crap on? So then Lee is duty bound. He is like, I'm here for the army, even though the people who run the army are the usurpers, who were the rebels, who took down my people, but whatever, I'm all for it. Until his cousin is like, hey, Leo, that's not his name. Hey, Lee, come over here and join us, join your family. We're going to take our stuff back. And he's like conflicted because he's duty bound, or should he join his family at the same time? Annie is here. He kind of loves her. And, he's not sure what to do. So it's a really good book. However, it is a character-driven book, which I think might be why people aren't picking it up. Character-driven, meaning it is character-heavy. It's very slow. There are dragons, but the dragons are babies and they just kind of blow smoke. They don't blow fire. So it's not a lot of dragon fights. It's a lot of training on the dragons. And so it's not plot-driven. It's not action. It's really about the characters of Lee and Annie and how Annie is very insecure and all that stuff. So if you like a good character-driven fantasy, Fireborn, I'll put it here, is a good book for you to read. But this is book 2 that we're talking about, Flamefall. I'm going to try and not do any spoilers because it's hard to talk about book 2. If you haven't read book 1, it's going to be tough, but we're going to try. In Flamefall, we are back with Annie and Lee. We have a new character named Griff. And Griff lives in New Pithos. New Pithos is the land that Lee's cousin is a part of. And Calopolis, this is where the army, that's where they are. They're in Calopolis. So when I say that, that's what I mean. So Griff is a new character. And we haven't, in the first book, we really didn't go to New Pithos. So we didn't really know what was going on over there. So we're over there a lot and it is shitty. Griff is part of the slave class. And what happened is the dragon riders, or the elite class, and the elite class is the only one who could ride dragons, by the way. They conquered New Pithos and was like, we're here and we conquer you and now you're slaves. And so they have a slave class and Griff is a slave class. However, the dragons, in order to ride a dragon, you have to be of this family, or, the ruling class family that were taken down, Lee's family. And they don't have enough dragon riders to ride dragons because it's not enough of them. They were all killed by the revolution. So they needed to find other people to ride dragons so that they have a big enough army. And so they had to recruit some of the slaves. And Griff was one of the slaves who has the ability to ride dragons. However, they muzzle their dragons so as to not attack the ruling class. Metaphor. In Flamefall, not Flame World, Flamefall, Annie and Lee, they are a part of the military. And, these two countries are fighting. Very hard to not do spoilers. These two countries are fighting. However, they have to ration food. So we're back again with the whole rationing thing. Because remember in the first part of this in the first part of this video, I was saying that the dragon riders, Lee's father and family, were like, we take your food. Well, they're doing it again. They're rationing. And of course, the crappy cast, the bronze, are not getting any food, while the gold cast are like overindulging and throwing food away. Of course. Annie is very much a rule follower. She's like, hey man, the military says this is how it is. And I'm a rule follower. And I get it because I'm a rule follower too. But she's trying to do some like fancy dancing to try and get around their rule whilst staying in the rules. Whereas Lee is like, no, this is not fair. I don't like it. Annie, how could you? This used to be you. Remember when they burnt your shit down, rationing your food? How could you? And she's like, I follow the rules. And he's like, no, I'm not going to follow the rules. He kind of joins the revolution, the new revolution. They are in a battle one day with New Pithos. And Annie sees Griff and she's like, why is their dragon muzzled? That's not okay. So then she boop, 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 puts it together and is like, I'm going to recruit this guy to be a double agent. So Griff is trying to be a double agent. So that's what the book is about. That's what Flamefall is about. And I gave Fireborn, which is book 1, I want to say a 4.5, but I gave Flamefall 3.5 because here's why. Okay. Well, I'll start with what I liked about it a lot. I really liked, maybe I should put this up here. I'll put this up here so you can see what I'm talking about. I really liked Griff's chapters because, like I said, he's a slave. They give them nothing. They are oppressed badly, and Griff is just trying to survive. And so he's kind of become a kept man or kept boy, if you will, because he's just trying to feed his family. He is attracted, romantically attracted to one of the ruling class. However, of course, that is frowned upon. The person he's attracted to is compassionate and seems to really be into Griff as a person and not just booty. Griff is conflicted because, as I said, he's been recruited by Annie to be a double agent, but at the same time, he's in love with the ruling class. So he's not quite sure what to do. So his storyline was the best. My problem with this book is it's the world. How do I explain? Okay, so the way the world of Calopolis, I'm probably saying it all kind of wrong. Calopolis, it sounds Greek. The way Calopolis is written is odd because we have the dragon army with Lee and Annie, and they're the military, and military has rules. They have rules. And on top of that, they were the original usurpers. They were the original revolutionary people who took down the fire riders, dragon riders, fire riders, who took them down. And so, they're probably like, don't associate with the rebels, doy. However, Lee is just like, after dinner, he's like, peace, dudes, about to go talk to the revolution. And nobody seems to care. Annie is like, oh my God, we have to follow the rules. We cannot talk to them. We give the rations, then we go. And Lee is like, nope, about to help the revolution. And the military upper echelons, I don't know if they're just ignoring it or that can't be the case, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, the revolution is bad. We don't help the revolutions. We don't help the rebels because the rebels want to take us down. So if you're going to help the rebels, which is common in dystopian fiction to help the rebels, you do it on the DL. You don't just get on your dragon at noon and go hang out with them for a couple of hours. Like, that is not a thing. You don't do that. You go in the secrecy of night. You really try to be a little secretive about it. But there was like no intensity with him just like dipping and going to see the rebels. Nothing. He just did it. And it's not like it's okay, because at the end of the book, the military is like, hello, who's helping the rebels? You're going to be hidden. You're going to be put in front of the freaking dragon fire and burnt to death because you're an anarchist, but so it's not like it's okay, but it's just the fact that there was no intensity. I never felt, because I'm the type of person when I'm watching TV and someone is like snooping around somebody's business and you're like, oh my God, they're going to get caught. Oh my God, I get really like nervous. And I never felt that way. I never felt that Lee was going to get caught because it wasn't written with intensity. And it's not that Munda is incapable of doing it, because in New Pithos, if yo ass even think about talking bad about one of the elites, they put your ass in a fire pit and burn you up. So that was intense. Like there were moments in that world where I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh this is bad. Like so, it's not like she's incapable of writing that. It's just that she didn't write that for Colopolis. I don't know, but because that was a major part of the book, I had to drop it a half a star, probably more than a half a star, because it just didn't make any sense. That's just not how it goes. That's not how it's supposed to be. I do recommend the series if you are, like I said, if you like plot, no. If you like character driven stories where there's not a lot of action on the page, I could give a shit about action on the page. I prefer a slow moving plot. If you're like me, the criticizer of books, and you like a slow moving plot, this series is a good series for you. And there's dragons. So there's dragons, and it's not unrequited love. What's the love called where the two people love each other but they don't say it? What's that called? I don't know what that's called, but it's got that. And it's got young women who are really insecure, who have to try and find their voice. What else it's got? It's got a caste system. So if you're missing that from the mid 2000s, you know, around Hunger Game, The Selection, Divergent, if you're missing that old gem, it's got it. And some dragon stuff. Some dragon stuff. Not a lot of dragon stuff. Some dragon stuff. Then check out Fireborn. It's book 1. Flamefall is out now, obviously, because I got the book right here. It's book 2 by Rosaria Munda. Don't forget to check out the Novel Universe podcast with me and Ashley here on the YouTubes or anywhere you get your podcasts. And until then, bye-bye. I'm gonna do a thumbnail because that's what the kids do. A thumbnail. Not doing that. That's stupid.